What's up, guys? How you doing? Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about why I think college textbooks should be free. Paying for college is already a brutal task for many families and students. Basically, for the less fortunate, it's a lot tougher to pay for textbooks, especially when you're in college. High school, it's not as bad because high schools are more understanding, but the families who support them, who support their children, practically pay for it, like my grandma does. But with relying costs on both public and private institutions, a little relief could go a long way in making, higher education more affordable for students, you could say. Basically, paying for textbooks has always been an issue with a lot of students and families. It's caused a lot of financial issues. Basically, if you're struggling with financial aid or anything like that, some universities are understandable, but it depends on what university you're at. I'm a college student who has to have money for textbooks for my classes. I see my grandmother and myself go through a lot of cash and a lot of basically hard work to get these textbooks, and they cost so much money. It's pretty crazy, I think. According to a reporter from the U.S. News College Board, he says that students at a four-year public college pay an annual average of $1,200 on books alone, and that doesn't even include supplies that they need for the class. Millions of people across the world are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on books that are necessary for these classes. Today I will be basically discussing with you the current problem with expenses and textbooks and the harm they cause for students. Then I will discuss what causes these textbooks to become so expensive. And then finally I will talk about the possible solution for the nationwide problem of textbooks being so outrageously priced. Textbooks are too expensive and are costing students way too much money and unnecessary taxes. The cost of textbooks in this nation is basically currently high and will most likely continue to rise for the foreseeable future. Basically, when it comes to college affordability, every little bit helps. Financial aid, anything like that. Until free public college education becomes a reality for all American students, an open textbook policy is the least one leader can do to provide an educational and economical stimulus for all. Our current textbook system is, I think, absolutely ridiculous and causes us to lose hundreds every year and possibly thousands of dollars unnecessarily. Universities need to use their power as an organization to basically create change on this issue for the benefit for us all, and to do otherwise is simply irresponsible. According to Herb Webster of NBCnews.com, the cost of college textbooks has risen 73% since 2006. He has also stated that common for a single textbook to cost more than $200, it can even go to $400 or $500, which I personally think is completely outrageous. According to Ali Bidwell of USNews.com, publishers keep printing new editions of the books every year in order to keep prices higher. Most of these problems are very serious but can be solved and stopped, I think, basically, if enough people join together. The reasons these books are so expensive is basically because every year they get newer and newer copies of these books, and the information and all the high-tech textbooks are basically broadening on all these schools, all these universities. According to Jordan Wiseman of the Atlantic.com, publishers are including new fancy materials to the books, which is completely unnecessary. Publishers will bundle textbooks with other materials such as podcasts, softwares, and study guides, which are not always used but are easily quite as expensive. According to Gregory Bessinger of the New York Post, the publishers don't make enough money for the books, so that's why the prices keep rising. According to Doug Ward of the Chronicle of Higher Education, there are only 5 publishers that have basically a lock on the market. Since there's only 5 publishers, they can use this astronomical prices on the books when they don't have much, basically, leeway to get the books in return. Now that I basically stated 2 large causes, we'll talk about how we could stop this. Basically, we could stop this. I feel online textbooks are a great way to basically, I feel, okay, so take this as an example. There's a lot of teenagers in the world who use their phones, laptops, and other smartphones, all that stuff that's completely unnecessary. Why not turn it into something that is good and use it for an online textbook? I don't know if that is a good idea for our world today, but it might help because everyone complains about how teenagers are on their phone too much. So I feel like that could definitely be a way. And like it said earlier in my presentation, podcasts, online booking, all that stuff could be a very good and I feel upbringing to our society for textbooks. So basically today I gave you guys a little insight on why I think textbooks should be free for college students struggling with financial aid, all that stuff. So if you ever have any, if you agree with me on this, why don't you look into it more and we'll try to stop this together. So I hope you guys enjoyed and take care.